Rowan had always believed that life was not fair. Growing up in a small town in Ohio, he saw how luck seemed to favor some people while others, like him, were left to fight for every inch of progress. His father had passed away when Rowan was just 12, leaving behind debts that his mother tried to repay by working multiple jobs. By the time Rowan turned 18, he knew college was out of reach. They could barely afford rent, let alone tuition. One cold November morning, Rowan saw a handwritten note on the window of a local diner. Help wanted, waiter. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a job. That afternoon, he walked into the diner wearing his only decent shirt, his hands trembling as he asked the owner, Mr. Harris, if he could work there. Mr. Harris looked him up and down and said, "You start tomorrow, but remember, in this place, you don't just serve food, you serve people's hearts." The work was exhausting. 10-hour shifts on his feet, dealing with impatient customers, carrying trays heavier than they looked, and always smiling no matter how tired he felt. Some customers didn't even see him as a person. To them, he was just the waiter. But Rowan noticed something. The regular customers came not just for food, but for the feeling of being welcomed. He watched how Mr. Harris greeted every person by name, remembered their favorite dishes, and asked about their families. Rowan began to understand that running a place like this was about connection, not just business. Over time, he built his own reputation. Customers started asking for him specifically. He didn't just take orders. He listened to people's stories, cracked jokes to make them laugh, and encouraged those who looked tired or defeated. He learned how to read people's moods and how to turn a bad day into a better one with just a few kind words. Still, deep down, he wanted more. Each night, as he swept the floors and stacked chairs, he dreamed of owning his own hotel, a place where people could feel at home, even if they were thousands of miles away. The problem was money. His pay was barely enough to support his mother and pay the bills. Still, Rowan refused to give up. He started taking double shifts, working at the diner in the day and cleaning offices at night. Winter nights were the hardest. Walking home at 2 a.m. with frozen hands and aching legs, passing by dark shop windows that reflected the face of a young man too stubborn to quit. He saved every spare dollar in an old jar hidden under his bed. Friends invited him out, but he always said no. He wasn't just saving money. He was building his future. After 4 years, he had saved enough to take a hospitality course at a community college. It wasn't a full degree, but it taught him about hotel management, customer service, and the financial side of the business. He studied late into the night after work, often falling asleep with a textbook on his chest. His mother, seeing his determination, would quietly drape a blanket over him and whisper, "One day, Beta, one day you will make it." Then came his first big opportunity. One of the regular customers at the diner, Mr. Coleman, was a retired businessman. He had always admired Rowan's work ethic and genuine kindness. One evening, after closing time, Mr. Coleman said, "Rowan, I've been thinking. I have a small motel in the next town. It's struggling, but I believe with the right person it could thrive. I want you to run it." Rowan was shocked. "Sir, I don't have the money to buy a motel." "I'm not selling it to you," Mr. Coleman replied with a smile. "I'm giving you a chance. You run it. If it makes a profit, we split it. If not, you walk away." That night, Rowan couldn't sleep. It was risky, but he knew chances like this didn't come twice. The next morning, he accepted. The motel was in bad shape. Faded paint, squeaky beds, and barely any guests. But Rowan treated it like it was already a 5-star hotel. He fixed broken lights himself, painted walls, deep-cleaned every room, and personally greeted every guest. He even started a tradition, free coffee and cookies in the lobby every evening, where travelers could sit, talk, and feel at home. Word spread. Within a year, the motel's occupancy rate tripled. Guests left glowing reviews online, praising the young man who treats you like family. Rowan reinvested every bit of profit into upgrading the place. New beds, fresh carpets, better signage, and even a small garden where guests could relax. 5 years later, Rowan bought the motel from Mr. Coleman outright. But he didn't stop there. He used the profits to open a small boutique hotel in the city. It was everything he had dreamed of: elegant rooms, warm lighting, and a lobby filled with fresh flowers. But more than that, It carried his personal touch. Every guest received a handwritten note on their pillow. Thank you for letting us be part of your journey. As his success grew, Rohan made sure to give back. He started a scholarship fund for hospitality students who couldn't afford tuition, remembering his own struggles. On weekends, he hosted free community dinners at his first motel, inviting not just guests, but anyone in need of a warm meal. Today, Rohan owns multiple hotels across the state. He often visits the diner where it all began, sitting in the corner booth where he once served coffee. Whenever young employees complain about hard work, he smiles and says, I started with nothing but a mop and a dream. If you're willing to work harder than anyone else, that dream will take you places you can't even imagine. Rohan's journey is a reminder that you don't need to start big to end big. Sometimes, all you need is relentless effort, a refusal to quit, and the belief that every small step is leading you somewhere greater. And when you finally arrive, the sweetest part is looking back and realizing every single hardship was part of the climb.